Before I start today's video, I thought I'd just go over some quick updates for the series. I've tried to condense the points down on the videos. This is about the same length as my previous video, but I've made the points more fluent, unlike the other video. I've also given the series a new look, so don't be alarmed that it may look different to the last Auteur video. And finally, mic-wise, I'm trying out my new microphone as I speak to you now and further into the video. So hopefully it's an improvement from the last video, because I was aware it was quite echoey and it was bit tinny, if you will. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I do put a lot of work and time into these videos, so all support is appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the Auteur Series. Today we're looking at the British-born director Alfred Hitchcock.
Life is a big mystery, isn't it? It always has been. I think people are intrigued by mystery to find out about things they don't know anything about. That's a mystery.
Born in 1899, Hitchcock would grow up to be one of the most influential directors within cinema, which gained him the title as an auteur. Renowned for making instant classics such as Psycho, Vertigo, Rear Window, North by Northwest, and many more stunning pictures. In today's episode, I'll be going over the 5 key points to what makes Alfred Hitchcock an auteur of film. Without further ado, let's get started.
The most dire, horrible events took place. I think we can go inside because the place is up.
If there was one title that Alfred Hitchcock obtained during his career, it's that he was the master of suspense. Across all of his work, there are numerous, and I mean numerous, moments where us as an audience are on the edge of our seats. For example, let's look at the shower sequence from Psycho. Obviously, within the previous scene, we understand a bit more about Norman Bates as a character, and Marion proceeds to have a shower. For us, this seems like a normal sequence, and it's just Marion showering. Voyeuristic, I know. However, moments into our showering, we begin to feel uneasy and nervous as we see the movement behind the shower curtain, announcing the entrance of Mother. What makes us tense is that we don't hear the door swing open or the footsteps of Mother walking towards the shower. We can only see Mother, which then doesn't prepare us for the attack. By doing this, Hitchcock creates an extremely tense moment for us as an audience. This examined build-up is not only used multiple times across Psycho, but across all of his films, allowing him to become the master of suspense. Hitchcock's films always contain the same set of themes throughout, which also gives his work a succinct style. These themes are the complexities of everyday life, a protagonist under interrogation, a stormy mother and son relationship, a femme fatale-esque quality, and confession and guilt. I will now give you examples to where these themes are seen in Hitchcock's films. Starting with the complexities of everyday life, we can use Rear Window. Rear Window is all about neighbourhoods and neighbours. The entire film is spent in the protagonist's apartment, observing the day-to-day behaviours and trivial problems of his neighbours, until it is discovered that one of his neighbours has actually committed a murder. Moving on to a protagonist under interrogation, we can use Vertigo. Ex-detective Johnny is blamed for the demise of his former partner and wife he was assigned to follow because of his fear of heights prevented from saving them. In most cases, the characters are being wrongfully blamed. Or, you can look at North by Northwest. Roger Thornhill is being pursued by criminals and the police, both of whom think he is someone he is not. Following on from this, looking at a stormy mother and son relationship, we can use Psycho. Although this is a disturbing representation of the relationship, it is hardly the only time we get to see or hear about Mother, which could show that Norman wishes not to express his feelings about the Mother, as we only hear from her at the end. This theme is also evident within The Birds. When Mitch is introduced to his mother, Melanie Daniels, she does not approve of her and refuses to loosen the hold over her son. Next up we have the femme fatale-esque quality, which is deeply explored within Vertigo. Madeline is portrayed as the cunning and calculated one for setting Scotty up. Although she is not the only one in the plot, Scotty makes a point to expose her as the fraud he thinks she is. Finally, we have the theme of confession and guilt, where characters feel guilty for their behaviour only when it's too late to fix it. In this case, we can again look at Psycho. Marion feels guilty for stealing the money only after she is headed out of the town with it. Also, looking at Vertigo again, we witness the shared guilt of Scotty and the wife he is assigned to follow, Madeline. So from looking at all these examples, it is pretty evident that Hitchcock has thematic consistency. And if we refer to Aaron Jusaris' auteur theory, this would fit nicely into having interior meaning within his films.
It's sad when a mother has to speak the words that condemn her own son, but I couldn't allow them to believe that I would commit murder. They'll put him away now, as I should have, years ago.
During his career, Hitchcock adopted a very unique and recognisable visual style. One thing Hitchcock achieved within this was adopting a new camera technique named the dolly zoom. The dolly zoom works by using the optics to focus and zoom at the same time. This technique was first used by Hitchcock in Vertigo when Scotty is chasing Madeline up the bell tower and Scotty suffers from vertigo. After 1958, many directors began to use the dolly zoom, including Steven Spielberg in his 1975 thriller, Jaws. By inventing this camera technique, it shows his technical competence as a director, which falls under as one of the 3 criteria for Saros' auteur theory.
Down there.
Now, like all auteurs, they work with a set of cast or crew of actors, editors, cameramen, composers, etc. that they will use throughout their work. Just like how Tarantino uses Samuel L. Jackson in 90% of his movies.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
Now with Hitchcock, he works with a particular actor, and that is James Stewart. Considering the soundtracks, he uses the help of Bernard Herrmann, who composed not only the scores for Vertigo, Psycho and many other films, but composed the soundtrack for Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone, which by the way, is one of my favourite TV shows. If there's one overarching theme that runs deep through Hitchcock's films, it's the theme of voyeurism. For those who don't know what voyeurism means, it is the practice of obtaining sexual gratification from observing others. There are moments across his films where this practice is seen. For example, we have Scotty in Vertigo being tasked with stalking Elsa's wife across San Francisco, which lasts about a good 10 to 15 minutes on screen. Also within Psycho, when Norman uses a hole in the wall to watch Marion get ready for a shower, and within Rear Window, which literally follows a wheelchair-bound man watching his neighbour. Now, the subject of voyeurism ties into having thematic consistency. However, I feel it is important to highlight this theme alone, as it has a huge influence on Hitchcock as a director, as Hitchcock's films always take on the idea that we see it through the eyes of a male character and never through the eyes of a female. And there we have it. Those are the reasons why Alfred Hitchcock is an auteur. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you also learned a thing or two from this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode where we'll be talking about Stanley Kubrick. For now, it's goodbye from me, and make sure to like and subscribe.
No! I heard voices. God have mercy.
Today's agenda, got the suitcase up in the Central. Go to room 112, tell them Blanco sent ya. Feel the strangers